The asterisk selects all elements. To style based on HTML tag, use the tag name. IDs are prefaced with a hashtag, and classes are prefaced with a period. You can add the same styles to multiple selectors by adding a comma in between those selectors. Make selectors more specific by chaining them together. Adding a space in between selectors applies that styling to any descendant with the following selector. To apply styles only to the direct descendant of the selector, use the greater than operator. Select the next sibling that matches the selector with the plus, and select all siblings preceding the selector with the tilde. You can select elements based on their attributes using brackets, and if you want to select them based on their attributes value, then that can be added as well. Use the caret to select based on the beginning of the attribute's value, the $ to select based on the end of the attribute's value, and the asterisk to see if the substring is contained anywhere within the attribute's value. The tilde can be used to see if the word is contained in the attribute's value, separated by spaces, and the pipe is used to see if the attribute's value is contained anywhere separated by a hyphen. The root pseudo-selector can be used to address the document's root, and is often used to store the CSS variables. The target pseudo-selector becomes active when the ID of the element matches the path in the URL. The active pseudo-class is activated when a user clicks or focuses on an element. Hover is activated when a user mouses over an element, and focus is activated when a user has navigated to an element with a keyboard or clicked on it. The not pseudo-selector selects the opposite of whatever's contained inside of it. The empty pseudo-selector is used for elements that have no child elements, while the first child selector applies to the first child element, and the last child selector applies to the last child element. To select a specific child element, use the nth-child selector, and nth-last-child can be used to find the nth child from the end. Only child is only applied if it's the singular child of its type. First of type is used for the first child of the given type, whereas last of type is, the last child of the given type. And then, just like before, to get more specific, there is nth-of-type for the nth child of a given type, and nth-last-of-type for the nth child just starting from the end. Only of type is used to select the child when it's the only child of that type. Lang is used to select elements with a given language. Visited is for links that have already been visited, and link is for links that have not been visited. Use default to style the default option for any given input. Enabled to select inputs that are not disabled, and disabled to select inputs that are disabled. The valid selector is active when the inputs are valid, and the invalid selector is active when the inputs are invalid. In range is active when the input is within the given range, and out of range is active when the input is outside of the given range. The indeterminate selector is used for inputs that have neither been selected nor deselected. Use the required pseudo-class to style required inputs, and optional to style the non-required inputs. The read-only class can be used for inputs that are non-editable, and the read-write class is for inputs that are editable. Elements can have styles applied once they're checked with the check pseudo-class. Placeholder styles inputs with a placeholder, while selection styles text that is currently selected with the mouse. You could style just the first letter or just the first line, and you can add pseudo elements using the before and after pseudo classes. These are elements comprised solely of CSS and are not a part of the DOM. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks.